put my earrings in. I'm sitting on my shares. But I hope all is well with you guys. We're going to get started since I put my earrings in because I forgot to do that. Um, but today we're going to be talking about balancing our hormones again, and we're going to dive deeper into how we are not being supported with the area and the space that we are in and the shifts that we need to make in order for us to deal with the issues that we're having with these symptoms, and how to establish our feminine freedom through the foods that we eat, and understanding what our cravings mean, and understanding how our body is operating and functioning currently, and getting away from the space that is making us uncomfortable and is not supporting us, so that we can shift into the space that does make us comfortable, that does support us, so that we can understand how our body is a healing vessel and really digest why it's not healing. This little piece of hair. Because people come to me all the time, women specifically. I do have some men that come to me, but majority women, and women come to me all the time talking about the fact that their body is giving them different signs, different whispers, different screams to let them know that they are fatigued, that they are bloated, that they are uncomfortable overall, their digestive tract is overran, that they're not being supported with the foods that they eat, and they're stressed out, they're tired, and they're emotionally irregulated. And the problem is that we sit here and say, I just want to lose weight. I want my period to be normal again, right? People are sitting out here saying, I just need energy. I'm just so over these cravings. I'm tired of having acne. I'm tired of my mood swings. I just need to fix this one thing and then it'll fix it all. That's what we tell ourselves. This is the mantra that we give ourselves, right? And we say these things and not realizing that these are signs that you are uncomfortable. You haven't put two and two together that you are not in the space of freedom, but rather your sign is showing you that it's so, your body is showing you signs that it's so uncomfortable that it's having these symptoms, but the symptoms are not the problem. And that's the key issue, that fine line of who believes that the symptom is the problem, which is their body's reaction to the problem, their body's reaction to their habits, rather. They think that their body is the problem for having a reaction. That's the same thing as somebody coming by and hitting you on your shoulder as hard as they can and then walking away, and you sitting there having a reaction to it and everybody blaming you. You weren't the person who sat here and decided to go hit somebody in their arm. You were just sitting here being a bystander, and somebody came and hit you, and now everybody's reacting to you like there's something wrong with you for being a normal person and having a reaction. That's what your body is doing. You have the habit that is harming it. You have the habit that is making it break itself down. You have the habit that is causing these symptoms, these signs, these problems. And instead of you sitting there realizing, okay, there's nothing wrong with my body, but rather there is something going on, the root cause is not being dealt with. This is your invitation into fixing the problem. You take this as, there's something wrong with my body. Let me go manage it with a prescription. There's something wrong with my body. Let me go have a surgery. There's something wrong with me. I'm going to go tell my doctor what's going on, and then he's going to give me 30,000 prescriptions, surgeries, suggestions, and he's never going to give me a health plan that actually helps me shift. These symptoms from your body are an invitation for you to not only support your system inside out with foods, but it's also to show you that the system that you are under currently right now and believing in is not helping you. And so in order for you to not only get to that pain that you were feeling and deal with that and to release that, you have to understand the full story. Getting to the root cause is you understanding the full story of, you're tired when you wake up. You're sitting here feeling like you're bloated even though you haven't eaten, or you're calorie counting restricting. You sitting here feeling sick when you're going throughout your day and not having any type of normal cravings when it comes to fruits and vegetables, but you're craving junk. Sitting here skipping meals because you think that's the correct way to fast, depending on coffee every single day. Sitting here dealing with anxiety and then wondering where it's coming from and why it's getting worse. Having a cycle that's all over the place and it's not regular. Hormones that are all over the place and that are not regulated rather. And you're exhausted trying to fix these problems that you see signs of, which are symptoms. And nothing sticks when you try all these different symptom fixing issues, or symptom fixing solutions rather, because you see this as an issue. And it's because you're not seeing the true picture of what is going on with your health. But I see you. These symptoms that you're having is something that I dealt with, something that I relate to. Because before I went plant based over 4.5 years ago, it's about to be 5, my anniversary is coming up. I lived that same way, patching myself up with these momentary band-aids that they give us. Sitting here thinking that, okay, if I just take this turmeric, this supplement, if I just drink this juice, this is going to help me throughout the day. Stressing all day, calorie counting and restricting, tons of supplements on my nightstand, on my dressers, thought this was the way for me to be healthy, doing keto, doing paleo, doing Weight Watchers, doing Jenny Craig, doing Whole 30, doing what they're telling us to do, because I thought this was going to help me be able to fix all these problems by managing. But inside, I was disconnected from my body, out of rhythm, out of sync, and exhausted trying to play this catch up game with my body, pretending that I was okay, like a lot of people are, by managing symptoms. When you're managing, you're never getting to the root cause, and these are only temporary fixes. Your body needs a full reset. And how you start to fully reset is understanding that managing throughout the day with coffee, managing with supplements, thinking that a herbal supplement is going to help you without using food as your medicine first, is the downfall to your health journey. You thinking that you can supplement anything in, or you can sit here and calorie count and restrict rather than replacing with natural foods, is that downfall and that thing that you are lacking when it comes to sustaining your healthy lifestyle. There are way too many people, too many women specifically, that I talk to on a regular basis that talk about that they tried different programs. They tried to do different things with women, with other women who are gurus, or they follow this social media guru who is now currently sick, or something is going on with them health wise, and you're sitting there you're feeling like this is not going to work for you. You're feeling discouraged. You're feeling like, okay, well, if they're healthy, they're in the gym, they work out, they're slim, I'm not slim. Why is it not working for them? Why is it not working for me, right? And you think that there's no hope. You feel hopeless because that's what it's designed to do. When you are in a system that is not designed to help you, but instead to keep you down and to keep you poisoned and to keep you confused, you are going to feel endlessly helpless. But when you have the strategy that bridges that gap between just managing and thinking there's something wrong with my body and broken, versus bridging that gap and actually believing that your body's able to heal and understanding how healing takes time. If you've been eating crap all 20 years of your life, you can't just flip it and change around within a couple of weeks and then everything fix itself. Understanding that rebalancing your hormones, rebalancing your feminine essence starts with you supporting yourself with foods, getting to the root cause of your habits, and understanding how these habits are not helping you. Realizing that bridging that gap is your body is not broken. You're just out of sync and out of balance with it. So if you're sitting here bloated, your gut is saying, help me, I'm not balanced. Your pH is too low. If you're sitting here dealing with fatigue, this means that your liver is whispering to you saying, I'm overloaded with toxins and I'm not being supported. When you're dealing with mood swings, this is all based on your hormones, and they're asking you to resync and rebalance with them, because at the end of the day, your cycle is directly tailored to how your hormones are operating. So if your hormones are off, your cycle is going to be off. If your cycle is off, your hormones are off. And so this is a endless cycle that we have to break and realize you are out of alignment. Your body is not fighting against you. There's nothing wrong with your body itself, but it's trying its hardest to give you all of these symptoms and these signs to let you know that there is a way for you to save yourself. You're not too far gone, but you have to listen, and you need to hear it clearly that you're out of alignment. And you need to be ready to take action, not just sit here and accept that this is the way that it is. This is what I've been taught. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. When your liver is overburdened with toxins and stress, when your pancreas is swinging between blood sugar highs and lows, when your kidneys are dehydrated, when you are lacking oxygen on a cellular level, when you're sitting here dealing with your gut being inflamed and your hormones are out of balance, these are all symptoms that you get. These are all symptoms that you have from your body letting you know that you're not healing from the inside out. And so now your body is giving you all of these different repercussions of, okay, well, now you're going to have a bloated gut. Now you're going to have no energy when you wake up. Now you're sitting here dealing with a hormonal imbalance, anxiety, depression, panic attacks. And it's because you have become out of alignment with your body, and the vision of who you have been created to be is no longer in sight. When you are becoming the best version of yourself, these symptoms will no longer attack you, nor will ever be a second thought to you again when it comes to, I don't know what to do and I don't know how to fix this. But rather, you will understand that these are symptoms that have been programmed into us that believe that they're normal. They're common, but they're not normal. Your body should not be operating this way. These things that we have made normal are not okay, because this is not how our body is supposed to be functioning every single day. You shouldn't be functioning on fumes as soon as you wake up. And when you are doing that, that means you have no stabilizers before you go to bed with the foods that you eat. And so you need a feminine reset and a full, real transformation that is actually sustainable. But you have to know how to do that first. And so in order for you to do that, you have to get to real healing and know what that looks like. And so, what does that look like? What does that look like for an average person that has a job, has kids, has families? Things that are normal, that are common in society and normal. Not things that we have made normal, but things that are actually normal. Everyday to day things that you have to deal with. On top of the fact that you're also trying to get your health together. It looks like you waking up and having energy and clarity, despite of everything else that's going on, and actually feeling that and seeing that and absorbing that. But you do that with food. Realizing that having a cycle is not something as a punishment, but rather it's something that you should be at peace with, because this is a direct tie to your health. So if your cycle feels like a punishment, that means that you're not treating it correctly. You're not syncing with that cycle. And when you're not syncing with it, you're going to be out of balance already. And so when you start to sync with your cycle, you'll be at peace during that time, because you know that's a time to rest, not a time to sit here and fight yourself and try to keep pushing. And when you are in that space where it feels like a punishment, that means that you are out of alignment, and that means that your hormones are off. Not craving sugar at 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 10 o'clock and sitting here thinking that, oh, it's just because my cravings because I'm close to my cycle, or it's my cravings because I'm a woman and this is just a part of my body. But actually understanding that your hormones are fed and steady because you balance your blood sugar daily. You balance your hormones on a regular basis. You understand how important these aspects are so that you don't develop insulin resistance. Because as women, we have a time every single month that we go through that causes us to naturally go into a more insulin resistant state. And so if you're sitting here craving sugar during that time of your insulin resistant state, you're going to be eating the sugar that is putting you more in an insulin resistance, which is going to lead you to having diabetes earlier and earlier, because you do this every single month. There are plenty of women out here that want better digestion. They want better mood. They don't want to be sitting here PMSing. They don't want to be sitting here having anxiety. But you're not being told the fact that your food is directly tied to how your health is and how you are feeling. And so, how are you feeling right now? That is a mental clarity question that you need to ask yourself. How am I feeling when I wake up? How am I being supported? What am I doing that's not supporting me? And how do I get to the space that I'm actually being fulfilled and sustained in a health journey that I'm actually actively enjoying? Not just something I'm doing because I want to lose weight. Not just something I'm doing because, oh, Jeannie Craig and Weight Watchers and I want to look good for a trip. Realizing that you're not any longer going to function in a burnout cycle. You're not going to be sitting here numbing. You're not going to be sitting here managing. And you're not going to be emotionally eating. This is what happens when you are regulated, when you are balanced. You're flowing with your cycle instead of fighting against it. You're actually being supported with the foods that you eat, so you don't have to depend on supplements. You don't have to learn a new hack or sit here and depend on what the doctor says of, oh, you need this prescription. Oh, you just need to try this surgery. But you first have to have an action plan that is going to support you, and understand that it's not just about you calorie counting and restricting and hoping that this works for you, but getting a full body reset, a full body balance, being back in rhythm with your organs, with your cycle, with your feminine essence. And how you are able to do that is getting to the root cause of the issues that you're having. Opening your eyes and taking action, not just sitting here saying, okay, I know I need these things and I'm really, really struggling, and then not doing anything about it, but understanding that action has to happen. You have to activate the lifestyle that you want. You can't mentally get into the space and then not do anything about it and expect you to sow the seeds that allow you to change. Thank you for the follow. So if you are sitting here and you know that you can and you will change and you know that your body will heal, how you start sowing the active seeds that you need is getting to the true healing that you need for your health by knowing exactly how to feel better, how to master this lifestyle, how to sync with your cycle, how to heal your gut, understanding how to eat more plant-based foods, and understanding how to support the liver and the kidney in detoxifying, as well as getting the full system back on track with your hormones, getting your full system back on track with you actually being aligned with your cycle. And if you are ready to understand how to do this and get to the soul rooted lifestyle that I teach this inside of my Balanced Body program. This program is not some kind of plan. This is not some kind of diet, because we don't do diets. This is you establishing a new lifestyle by understanding how food is a medicine, not something for you to avoid and to sit here and restrict yourself on what you shouldn't be eating and what you should be eating when it comes to numbers, when it comes to a food that you eat. But rather understanding that you can eat a plethora of fruits and vegetables and not be sitting here thinking that, oh, I have to stay in 2,000 calorie deficit, and if I don't stay in this deficit, then I failed and nothing is going to work. Because when you're eating your fruits, when you're eating your vegetables, the things that flush your body and reset your body, not only are you going to feel energized and you're going to see the difference, but you're not going to be sitting here hungry all the time the way that they're sitting here telling you that you're going to be if you try to eat only fruits and vegetables, because you're not going to get enough protein. Because the only reason why y'all are not getting enough healthy fats and protein to sustain you is because you don't know how to do it correctly. You don't know what stabilizers are in your food. You don't understand how to actually get a full plethora of eating a rainbow variety of foods that support each system. You don't understand these things because you're not taught these things. And if you were taught these things and you understood these things, then you would know that you don't have to eat processed snacks, that you don't have to sit here and eat these terrible toxins when it comes to your dairy, when it comes to you eating all this meat that y'all eat every single day, majority of your meals. The processed snacks that you eat, your Oreos, your Swedish fish, these hot chips, all these different things that y'all are eating that are making you toxic, that have nothing but terrible ingredients in them. Nothing that actually has sustainable food ingredients that gives you nutrition, but instead food ingredients that we have considered as food that is junk. When you get away from that, when you stop doing that, you won't be in pain. You won't be sitting here suffering. But majority of y'all right now are sitting here in pain. You're confused. You're still unsure about how to feel better again. You're still unsure about how to sync with your cycle. And I want to let you know that you can. This is possible for you, and you will. But it's only when you choose to take that step of stop managing the symptoms and actually start choosing how to reset your body and learn how you rebalance and you welcome in that change. Because we are creatures of habit. We like things that are familiar. And so why not get a strategy that helps you be able to be in the familiar, but change your habits and to feel better about the change? Not just sit here and play a guessing game and then feel like you're going to crumble within 28 days, crumble within 15 days, crumble within 10 days of doing it, or even a week. But actually understanding how to have peace, how to have clarity, and get your power back in the space of healing. And if you are wanting that and you're not waiting and hoping that it's going to find you, but you're actively like, I want to take initiative into my health. And I want to understand that I'm not just going to be sitting here nodding my head and saying yes. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to eat McDonald's, or I'm going to nod my head and say, yes, I understand. And then I'm going to go keep doing the same thing that I was doing. It's time to stop managing and stop sitting here chasing a momentary Band-Aid and symptom relief. It's time for you to learn how to reset and to root in your feminine essence. And that starts with you eating plant-based foods and syncing with your cycle. And if you are ready to learn how to do that, and if you are ready to actually have the strategy of how I've done that for over 4.5 years, of balanced my body, supported myself, my Balanced Body program is linked in my bio. You can click the link in my bio. You can learn more about that. If you have any questions, I'll take questions, because we are done with diet culture and we're done with managing. We know how to transform our body. We understand that there's a space for you to be able to transform yourself. Now, the question is, what are you doing? How are you acting? What is the activation that we are establishing for ourselves? So, what questions do you guys have for me? And if you don't have any questions, I'm going to hop off. If you are not on my email list is linked in my bio as well. I send out a Wellness Wednesday every single week, as well as when I go live. And you also know when I post my YouTube videos. If you do miss a past live, you will get that notification. So, I'll give you a couple minutes to let me know any questions that you have. And if you don't have any questions, I'm going to hop off. Give y'all about 1 more minute or so. Any questions about the program? Any questions about hormone alignment, cycle syncing? Any questions about healing and transformation? Lack of nutrition? Eating a rainbow plate? Anything that's coming up in your brain? I appreciate you guys for the likes and the follows. Thank you. No questions? Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any questions. If you're watching this later on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to leave any questions that you have down below under the video. I do answer the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of y'all's day. I don't know when we'll be back, because I said I was going to be streaming on Sunday and it did not happen. But stay tuned. I try to go live at least 3 times a week. So if you're on my email list, you'll know. And if not, I will catch you in the next one. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of y'all's day.